I'm a hospital doctor and I work on a neuro rehab ward which caters for people who have sustained a traumatic brain injury or stroke or other neurological conditions. I think first and foremost what I really find rewarding and what spurs me on and helps me every day is that I am, even if though it might be in a small way and as part of a team, helping people get through very difficult aspects of their lives. I went to primary school in Sudan and also went to high school there as well. We were encouraged to use the library, we were encouraged to go on trips outside the school, and it was during that period that I gained the love of certain special disciplines, in particular the science ones. My favorite subject at school was biology. It was just the fascination of how the living body works, whether it's that of a human being or an animal, was very fascinating. Most of my primary school and the majority of my high school had lots of happy moments, and I made a lot of friends and met a lot of people from all over the world, which I think sort of helped me later on in life to understand that people are different and can look at things differently. I come from a family of people who trained in organic chemistry, and I think there was this family tradition and expectation that I would join organic chemistry. However, I wasn't too thrilled with the smells. Little did I know that later on in life, when I worked in medicine, that I'll come across smells as well, albeit that this time they were of a different origin and they didn't come out of test tubes, but actually from living people. I originally studied medicine abroad in Bulgaria. Then I moved to Sudan, where I worked for 2 years, and that was an incredible experience. The resources are quite limited, so one really had to improvise and think well beyond what one has learned in textbooks, how to manage even everyday conditions. Sadly, it has some sad moments for me as well, and in particular one of the main turning points was in regards to whether I was to continue in pediatrics or not. I had the occasion where a mother brought her child in, and sadly it was very late for us to be able to help. It was one of the most obvious moments of when one comes face to death quite suddenly. Unfortunately, as a result, I didn't think I would have the emotional energy to continue in pediatrics. But as a result, that turning point led me to the current field in which I am and which I enjoy. I came to the UK to further my postgraduate studies, and in the process I got clinical attachment, and from that clinical attachment I got registered as a medical professional within the UK, which gave me the opportunity to work here. When I came to the UK, I came with my mother and my brother, which made it a wonderful experience. However, when the time came for them to go back, it was heart-wrenching, and I did actually have to take my mum's advice and repeat it in my head times and times again, that no matter how hard it is, one just needs to keep on going, and that eventually, yes, one would see the light at the end of the tunnel, or a door will open. I was working originally in care of the elderly, and that is a very fascinating field. I actually thought that I was applying for a care of the elderly job, and the night before my interview, my consultant pointed out that I've actually applied for rehabilitation medicine. So overnight I was sort of scouring the books and the internet to try and find a little bit more. I'm very pleased that despite this last minute revelation that I was successful in my job, the ability to help people who are actually very severely physically and sometimes cognitively impaired. It is very rewarding at the end, even if it is a few years down the line, to see the progress that they've made. I have been told that I'm good, and pretty good, well, very good in certain fields, but I find that a little bit overpowering, and it sort of puts the pressure on me to work even harder and be even better, because I think there is always scope and place to improve.